One cold January morning in 2009, Hibbert L. Pimpleton awoke as he usually does, depressed, groggy, and mildly disgusted with the manner in which his life has unfolded. For years, Hibbert has pried open heavy eyelids to an unwanted dawn, his hands tied at length with the bills of insurance and mortgage, his feet shackled to the corporate sleds of a 60-hour workweek, mandatory overtime, and a mere 2 weeks vacation. 2 weeks, Hibbert thought. That's only 1/26th of a year. That means I, Hibbert L. Pimpleton, spend each year working 26% of the time. Hibbert had had this thought before. This very consideration rang between his ears with regularity. But as depressing as the echo has always sounded, Hibbert had remained in a quiet contempt. He bit his lip and made his coffee. Oh, diddly-oh, and so, and so, and so. Hibbert had, on several occasions, entertained the idea of speaking up. But he knew, as every man does, that even if he were to attempt to clear his throat of his own life's dismay, his mouth would only have been muzzled by his own taught insecurities. What would people think if I voiced my opinion? What would people think if I broke routine? What would people think if I crossed a line or two? Suddenly, Hibbert's eyes flashed to a black and white news headline that had been buried beneath the columns of gossip and entertainment. Pirates spotted off the coast of Somalia. Pirates. Hibbert's neck stiffened under the weight of this heady revelation. Hibbert decided not to go to work. He decided to feign illness. Hibbert called it in. Aye, diddly-ay, I can't come in today. My parrot's sick.
What? You have a parrot? You didn't tell me.
A flame was ignited in Hibbert's soul. There is yet hope still, he thought. For days, visions of salted galleys, feisty wenches, and great sums of booty danced in Hibbert's head. A week later, on his way back to work, Hibbert, dressed as a rogue, stopped at the local gas pump. As he paid for his gasoline, he stuck a bar of chocolate into his pocket. The teller couldn't be certain, but he thought he heard Hibbert mumble, "Aye, diddly-dee, this candy's here for me." At work, Hibbert sat before his square screen at his square desk in his square box of an office. Bored to his wits' end, he researched the history of piracy on his company's time. This simple act of mutiny thrilled Hibbert. As it turned out, over the course of history, the high seas have been host to all breeds of pirates. The ancient Sicilian pirates of antiquity, the raiding Scandinavian Vikings of the Middle Ages, the plundering butt pirates of the early 1980s. Hibbert decided to enact a little piracy of his own. Using only ones and zeros, Hibbert wholeheartedly plundered the corporate database. Aye, diddly-day, and that's the pirate way.
Hey, what's going on here?
Hey, Hibbert, what the hell?
Hibbert, you stud.
At 608 Madison Avenue sits a grocery store. Behind that store runs an alley. In this alley, a truck unloads corporate foods to the masses. Alone in his car, Hibbert watches the truck bemused with his own thoughts. Hibbert's imagination paints the imagery of the Somali pirate headlines from days earlier. Hibbert sees a horde of swashbuckled fishermen, desperate in the face of some great oppression. These were men fed up with what for certain Hibbert did not know. But he did know that men only became fed up after years of bondage. A man only takes action when his oppression becomes too much to bear.
Take it, Satch.
Hibbert has become a man of action. Hibbert, unknowing of their actual existence on the planet until days earlier, has rooted for men of action his whole life. Hibbert rode the truck into the fading purple dusk of the retreating corporate day and sang quite audibly, "Aye, diddly-dee, a pirate's life for me." And that's the news, in black and white.